Okay, under the color of law. This is what you're living with, okay? Under the color of law describes an act by a government official, such as a police officer or judge, that appears to be legal because it's done with the official is performing their duties, but actually violates a person's constitutional right. This is an abuse of power where the official uses their authority or mere pretense of it to commit an illegal act such as excessive force, false arrest, unlawful confiscation of property. Federal laws like 18 U.S.C. 242 criminalize such actions, while 42 U.S.C. 1983 allows individuals to file lawsuits against the official. Key aspects of under the color of law: appearance of authority. The act is performed by someone who holds an official position or authority, giving a mere semblance of legal right or the pretense of right. Abuse of power. The official misuses of power and position to violate someone's right, even though those actions are not part of their lawful authority. Unlawful act. Despite the official guise, the action itself is illegal and deprives a person of rights guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. That's also against the law. Deprivation of rights. Acting under the color of law is against the law. Deprivation of rights is against the law. And a conspiracy to deprive rights, which is called a conspiracy against rights under the color of law, is against the law. That's a whole lot of laws they're breaking there by acting under the color of law. Unlawful acts. Despite the official guise, the action itself is illegal and deprives a person of rights guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution or federal law. That starts with effective assistance of counsel. You know that doesn't happen. Examples for violation. Common examples include excessive force, sexual assault, false arrest, and all unlawful confiscation of property. Federal crimes under U.S.C. 242, a person acting under color of law who willfully deprives someone of their constitutional rights commits a federal crime. Okay, so you see that on the streets every day. I see people complaining about cops. Well, you know, and you know they're breaking the law. They're acting under the color of law, which is a federal crime. Okay, civil lawsuits. Individuals can also sue for damages under 42 U.S.C. 1983 when someone acting the color of state law violates their civil rights. For example, officials involved, police officers, judge, prison guards, other law enforcement officials, and government employees acting in their official capacity. Okay, deprivation of rights under the color of law. That's what I was talking about. Civil Rights Division, U.S. Department of Justice, deprivation of rights. Okay, makes it a crime, person actor under the color of law to willfully deprive a person of rights, privilege protected by the Constitutional laws of the United States. Okay, so I want you to get into that. Okay, it's not that long. The offense is punishable by a range of imprisonment up to a life term or the death penalty, depending on the circumstances of the crime and resulting injury, if any. I bet you didn't know that. See, that's what I like to talk about. A lot of laws that the public servants don't like to talk about. If you read the rules of professional conduct in the preamble, it tells you all lawyers are public servants and must legally act in the public interest. And it says that if anybody violates the rules or the codes, it's mandatory to report misconduct in the rules of professional conduct and the code of judicial conduct. So if anybody's violating any law, they don't actually have to be involved in the case. Any knowledge of any judge or lawyer violating the rules of professional conduct or the code of judicial conduct is mandatory to report. No limitations, zero tolerance. Okay, I'm just showing you where to look some stuff up, all right? Things you should know about, things I talk about. And people used to ask me, well, I get it out of books. You know, I mean, you can look this stuff up yourself. What does color of law mean in crime, deprivation, rights under the color of law? Then it'll go on to explain to you a conspiracy against rights under the color of law. I mean, it was a lot harder when I was looking for this in books. So I'm just saying, take advantage of the internet. All right. Just wanted to make that short and simple. It's not that hard to understand under the color of law. That's what you're living with, folks. That's what you're living when it comes to your politics. The courts. Try holding a judge to his legal obligations, his or hers. The Code of Judicial Conduct and the Code of Judicial Conduct commands that they enforce the rules of professional conduct in every court of law to see to it that every lawyer abides by and also enforces the rules of professional conduct as well as the Code of Judicial Conduct. These are the legal obligations as well as any lawyer, to enforce the rules of professional conduct and the Code of Judicial Conduct, and if there is any misconduct, to report such misconduct. This is a violation of your constitutional right of effective assistance of counsel. Without effective assistance of counsel, you didn't get a fair trial. You didn't get due process. All right? So it happens in any court. So I'll go over the rules and the codes soon. I get these really bad headaches and my vision goes bad. But enough with the excuses. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I did a short about what you're living with under the color of law. Okay. You don't have to believe me, and I wouldn't want you to. I wouldn't want you to take my word for it, but I don't want you to take anybody else's word for it. I want you to take your word for it. Read it. Open your eyes. And hopefully that'll open your mind. And remember, apply the letter of the law, which is a mandatory an interpretation of everything and anything legal, whether it be a contract, law, company policy, whatever. Apply the letter of law. That means everything here has to be done word for word to the letter. Okay, and there are penalties for violating the letter of the law as well. Okay, there's penalties for every law written. Penalties for every law written. And so violating any of these laws I talk about, there's penalties. All right, you have a good night. May your Creator always be with you and rain many blessings. Long life and good health. May peace always be with you.